Good afternoon. I have been working inside the public administration for 25 years. But this is not a story about bureaucracy, but it's a story about possibility. Today, I want to share with you what I have learned about how systems change actually happens and how we, as public servants, can be part of that transformation. But let's be honest. Shifting systems from within the government is not easy. It requires much more than good intentions. It requires much more than good intentions, hard work, and much more than good policies. It requires changing mindsets. It requires new narratives, new structures, and different ways of working that usually go against how public administrations are designed to work. Today, I would like to share with you 8 insights from our own experience, learnings that are helping us rethink what's possible within public administration and what it takes to support real systemic change. The first insight is that transformation needs boldness and legitimacy. Green and just transitions aren't just about technology or tweaking policy. They require us to rethink how we eat, move, care, produce, how we consume. And to do that at scale, we need political legitimacy, and we need a mandate to experiment. In Catalonia, our smart specialization strategy, Charles was talking about, gives us that mandate, the mandate to explore place-based alternatives to current and sustainable practices. The second insight is that real change is collective. It's never top-down. Transformative strategies must be collectively owned. In Catalonia, as Charles says, we call them shared agendas. The shared agendas are place-based and challenge-driven collaborations born from a shared sense of urgency and hope. They come together, the sense of urgency and the hope that we can do something different. So shared agendas bring unlikely actors together. Those with lived experience, and these are the most important ones, those with expertise, of course, and those with the power to act. We need to bring together the people with lived experience and the people with power to act. And these processes are not about consultation, they are not about participation, and they are not about consensus, and this is very important. These processes are about commitment, trust, partnership, and radical collaboration. But yeah, shared agendas don't just happen. They need the right conditions. They need what we call social innovation infrastructure. That means spaces where we can meet. We need relationships to build trust. We need directionality to align efforts. And facilitation is also very important because it's important to support collaboration. And very important, what we need is time. Time is very important. So what we know is that governments, if they really want transformative change, they must invest in these foundations to sustain long-term collective engagement with the problems that really matter. And our current funding systems are part of the problem. This is not a surprise for most of you, because traditional public funding rewards predictability, short-term outputs, and compliance. And therefore, it punishes experimentation, collaboration, and long-term thinking and long-term action. And this kills transformation before it even begins. So we need a new generation of public finance, one that is adapted, trust-based, and bold. For example, we are working on innovation procurement, and we are seeing that the potential of innovation procurement is huge, but still too often untapped. And just last week, our government launched a 22 million euros call for universities and research centers. And this call is not about KPIs, it's not about developing fixed solutions, about writing papers, but is about engaging researchers and young people, supporting new processes, new interactions, new ways of creating value for the communities, for our regions, and for our planet. Narratives, very important. Narratives shapes what's possible. To challenge the status quo, because transformation is about challenging the status quo, we need powerful stories, we need powerful narratives and theories of change. Ours is rooted in the multi-level perspective from transition studies, which tell us that real change rarely comes from the center of the system. It starts at the edges of the system. So our role is not to replace mainstream efforts to fix and optimize the efficiency of current systems. Our job is to focus on helping government become more open, more curious, and more responsive to place-based pioneers. And this is what big corporations do when they partner with the startups. We do the same. And creative bureaucrats are the bridge builders between the mainstream and the future, between the mainstream and what is possible. Credibility comes from results and stories. It has to be gained. In 2019, we started with shared agendas with 2 pilots. One is a rural region shifting to a circular bioeconomy. An example of outcome of this strategy is 150 farming families coming together with their own money to build the first biopolygon in Catalonia, the one that we can see on the screen. The other agenda is on aging and chronic care. And this agenda has built a social innovation infrastructure that brings together caregivers, researchers, startups, patients, some big companies, and public administrations. And all of them together are co-creating technological-enabled solutions that are already improving the life of many people. And what is important, the message is that these aren't just projects. The shared agendas are signals of what is possible when all these people come together, aligning efforts to directional goals and understanding very well the problems they want to address. And this is also very important. The shared agendas are already shaping our regional policies, because at the end, we are working from the government, and our role is to change our policies in order to be more effective. And this is the next insight. System change needs new roles and new skills. We need public servants who can handle complexity, who can navigate uncertainty, who can manage conflict, because transformation is always about conflict, and who can resist capture by vested interest. This is also very important. And today, 20 of us across 8 Catalan ministries work as a network supporting these shared agendas. And that 22 million euros call I mentioned earlier, this is not just about funding. It's, how I say, it's about building this public social innovation infrastructure, one structure that engages researchers and young people in place-based green and just transition. And the role of creative bureaucrats. We are connectors, because our role is to create the conditions for transformation. That means providing legitimacy, providing new narratives, providing new social innovation infrastructures, providing common frameworks, methodologies, capacity building, and resources. And this work takes time, I can assure you. It takes time, it's complex, and often it's invisible. But it's necessary, because what we have learned is that the real engine of change isn't the policy, it's not the policy. It's the relationships, the capabilities, and the shared structures we build around this policy. And yes, we are living through a time of great uncertainty, but this is also a time of great possibility. And to me, creative bureaucracy is not an oxymoron, but it's an invitation for public servants to step into our role as facilitators of collective transformative action. Thank you.